with the loser of match number 1, Josie Ernest. Josie, unbelievable bowling. You looked like a pro out there. You looked so relaxed. Unfortunately, Liz got a head start on you in the striking.
Yeah, she bowled an unbelievable game. You know, 260 is pretty hard to beat. I don't know if I would call myself relaxed. I, might have played the part pretty well, but I was pretty nervous the whole game.
Oh, no, you looked great. Now, what will you take from this experience as you leave?
It was really just teaching myself how to calm everything down, slow everything down, because, that was probably the fastest game, or felt like the fastest game I've ever bowled. But it'll definitely be an experience that I can utilize in the future.
Well, I know we'll see you again. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dave.
Great bowling, Josie. You were nodding when she said it seemed like the fastest game in the world.
Hunter, this first time you get on TV, you can't believe that you can bowl 10 frames in about 90 seconds.
And Liz is not a very deliberate player. There are some who, everybody has their own style. There's no one way to do this. We'll see Carolyn Doran-Ballard, for example, very deliberate player. There is a shot clock in play here, by the way, and players will be fined. And she says, you know what, I don't want to know. Just take care of it. We'll talk later. Liz Johnson, a little bit quicker. Doubtful that she'll ever have a shot clock violation. And Liz Johnson again coming out of the break. Strikes.
I tell you, it absolutely is the hardest shot, and you see it consistently. The players struggled on that very first shot. Her speed is identical to the fourth frame on this same lane, right over the 8th board. Perfect delivery. I assume she made a little one-board move off her last pitch on that lane.
So was it 7.9 instead of 7.8? Because I've never heard of the 7.8 board. I got to tell you.
It's really hard to pick up from the foul line, too, as a matter of fact. But the stat stat is very accurate.
Push.
No.
Oh, man.
What happened here?
Yeah, and this is only about a board inside a target, and that's how much the shot maker Liz is. A board off of target, and it equals about 3 more at the pins. It turns into a big 4. Just when she crawled back into this match at 20 pins down, a chance to cut down the lead. Deandra back up by 35.
This is when that cliche of staying in the moment if you're Deandra. Don't start thinking I've won, because the minute you do that, oftentimes you make a mistake.
Coming from the voice of experience here, it's very important to just focus on the simple things. One process, hit your target. Keep doing it until they tell you you're done.
You really thought her last shot was outstanding. Did she get away with one here?
Just a little bit, but she is getting her hand underneath it right now, and she's starting to really catch at the bottom. She missed a few shots earlier. That one wasn't really that far left. She just caught it at the bottom, and she'll make a little bit of moves. Got some of the breakdown that Liz had, I think, the frame before. This is not good news for anybody coming up to bowl her next, though, because she looks like she's starting to settle in. Any thoughts of that previous 140 game from her? Yeah, those are all gone now.
She's beaten that. Stephanie Nation is the winner of this, the number 2 seed. Got away with one through the nose that time. By the way, we're talking about deliberation and shot clocks and all that. Deandra has already had 2 violations. She does not want to be told. Some players are told right away. She has asked the folks in charge of the shot clock, again, talk to me when I'm finished, and we'll talk. I'll pay what I have to pay. First is a warning. There are fines afterwards. So she's going to be out some tip money. Good indeed it was. For bowling news from around the world, plus great tips and video, log on to the new and improved bowl.com, the official website of the United States Bowling Congress. And there is everything in the world of bowling. Youth, professionals, leagues, everything is in there. So take a look at it, bowl.com.
Again, on this 41-foot, 2.5 to 1 ratio sport compliant pattern, both players using pin-up balls. By putting the pin up above the fingers, you can let the ball flare more, creates a little bit more overall motion.
The problem there for Liz Johnson, whose max is 223, and there you see the 7.8 board and the miles per hour.
Here you see the picture perfect position that Liz has at the foul line. Posts up every shot. Trademark of hers. One of the reasons why she's one of the best shot makers in the game.
Look out. And she was so good in the first game when she bowled 268. What has changed?
Well, she's had a hard time on this left lane. It's just a little bit tighter down lane for her, but she comes right over the top of it again. It's the same shot we've seen now 4 times over the 2 games, but unfortunately for her, 3 times in this game.
And she smothers that. But she knows she's in big trouble and running out of time. The foundation frame in game 1, she blasted the pins. This time she has to convert a baby split. Her max is down to 203. And you want to do your Bo Burton bowling math?
Yeah, Deandra needs virtually nothing here. She needs 9 on this shot.
That's exactly what she got.
No trouble at all there, but the interesting thing is watch the 6-pin, second pin from the right. And almost nothing hits it as it falls straight over. That doesn't happen very often. You have to create quite a bit of angle to cut the 3-pin off that clean and barely hit the 6. You leave that flat at 10, it also sends a signal that you need to make an adjustment to get your ball to go through the pins.
So Deandra Asbady has moved on. She's defeated Liz Johnson and will advance to the next match against Stephanie Nason in our stepladder format. And we're going to have in championship match 1 player looking for her first major championship against Carolyn Doran Ballard. Good luck with that, by the way. That's not going to be easy. Neither Deandra or Stephanie have won a major yet. Physically talented players, and Deandra has been on Team USA for 14 years. So it's not like she's not a novice at this at all. Junior Team USA for a couple of years, so she's extremely experienced. And as Chris mentioned, bowling a little bit different outlook on life now that she's a mom. And a 4-pin refusing to give her the big finish she deserves.
Talk about good friends, though. Her good friends, Carol Norman and Donna Connors, they drove all the way up from Houston and brought her a couple of bowling balls where Carol drills her bowling ball, the former PWBA champion. About a 4.5 hour drive, dropped some stuff off, and she used a couple of those balls during the week.
And Deandra can enjoy this for a little bit. Do you allow yourself a little moment before the next match to go, okay, way to go, Chris, or not?
I personally prefer to just stay in the moment as much as I can and try and stay in that same frame of mind rather than trying to follow the ups and downs. I get hard to reset sometimes.
And Deandra Asbady comes out and rolls a solid 233. Will she get that first major, or will it be Stephanie Nation who's going to move on to the championship match against Carolyn Doran? Welcome to Arlington, Texas, to the USBC Queens. I'm Dave Lamont along with Chris Barnes. The first major on the women's bowling calendar. This one happened in match 2. Liz Johnson got off to a bad start, could not recover. But how about the solid, mistake-free bowling from Deandra Asbady, who bowls Stephanie Nation next. Well, this building we're in today serves a lot of different functions. Science lab, the proving grounds, the ITRC is turning heads all across the bowling world. It's a facility unlike any other. The International Training and Research Center is the focal point of the governing body of the sport of bowling, as USBC tests it all for the good of the game.
Yeah, this place is great because we can simulate any center from virtually around the world. Not only that, but we're testing balls and pins as well as lane oils, lane conditioners, cleaners, lane surfaces. We do all that here, and that's really important because we need to make sure that it's a fair game for everybody.
It also serves as the home to Team USA. The national team has a dedicated facility for training, and the athletes feel that their home base gives them an edge.
This place is awesome. We have a gym, we have the best coaches in the world, we have these lanes that we can put down any pattern whenever we want to and practice on it, get instant feedback with all of the technology. It just makes us really tough to beat.
And the Team USA coaches are available to individuals and teams from all over the world.
You can get that pin to turn sideways. It's going to be easier to pick up that 10 pin.
From collegiate teams to league bowlers, everyone is utilizing the state-of-the-art bowling science.
What makes us different than any other place in the world is the technology in this facility. We have pan, tilt, zoom cameras, which let us program them to go zoom into any part of the bowler's game. We have motion capture. We have ball tracking. We have accelerometers now that we actually measure how fast a portion of the body's traveling. And then we have our goggles, our eye-tracking goggles, that we can actually see what a bowler's seeing. So it's almost like we're actually in their head looking through their eyes and seeing what they're looking at.
And there's certainly plenty to see at bowling's most impressive address. And if you would like to bring your team to take advantage of this amazing facility, there are opportunities available for all skill levels. Visit Bowling ITRC, that's all one word, bowlingitrc.com to learn more. Deandra Beatty right there in the foreground trying to win her first major, but so is Stephanie Nation. That match is next, and then the winner will take on Carolyn Doran Ballard for the USBC Queens, the tiara, and the $20,000. Two ladies looking for their first